States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With that, I would ask Matt to do roll call, I guess will be the first order.
Councillor Thompson.
Here.
Malonis.
Here.
Demas.
Here.
Hickerson.
Here.
Zadi.
Here.
Hanson.
Here.
Pedri.
Here.
Bingham.
Here.
Mayor Mickelson.
After that, I would accept a motion to accept the revised agenda for tonight's city council meeting.
So moved.
Thank you for moving, Councilor Demas. Can I get a second? All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstaining. And then I would accept nominations for tonight's temporary city council president, since the mayor decided other things take precedence.
Your Honor,
Councilman Hanson?
I'd like to recommend Councillor Pedri.
Pedri? Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Anybody else, I guess, want to nominate? No? Okay. I guess Councilman Pedri is our president for tonight.
You want me to come sit over there?
That's up to you. We got a lot of bid openings.
Yeah, better.
You can sit in the mayor's chair.
Come back.
There you go.
While he's moving down here, I guess we will start with council updates, and where did we start last time? Let's start with Councilman Zadi, if you would.
Sure. I, last 2 weeks, attended Old Timer Civic Center meeting. We had a budget meeting on the 15th, task force on accruals for employees that we're working on. Did an interview with the mayor on how council worked. You'll see that online shortly with, I believe, a series of videos that have been done from various councilmen about city function and that. And then the legislative update that the chamber put on, I believe it was about 2 weeks ago as well. So that's my update for this meeting.
All right, thank you. Councilor Hanson?
Thank you, sir. On April 8th, I attended a historic museum board meeting. On April 9th, the next day, I also attended the legislative meeting out at Young at Heart where they discussed the recent state legislation and how it affects our county. April 16th, I went to the county commissioner's update also, where they talked about the budget challenges and other issues concerning the county. I've had several other meetings at Young at Heart. They're currently providing over 130 home-delivered meals every day and 50 to 100 meals to everybody coming in. They do that every day, Monday through Fridays. I also wanted to congratulate Whiskey Goats Outdoor Company down on South Main for being the first recipient of Business of the Month, presented by Downtown URA. Thank you.
Thank you. Bingham?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So good evening, everybody. April 8th, I met with the Old Timer Civic Center group, talk about funding options for the facility. Good discussion. Like most things, it comes down to dollars and cents. We're planning on a follow-up meeting in the next week or so. I've also been spending my time digging into the budget that was presented to the Budget Committee on April 6th. We started at about a $10.7 million deficit. So we're working on our way down and going through that and making cuts as appropriate. So we're making progress, but we're not across that finish line yet. There's still some tough work ahead. On April 15th, I attended a budget reconciliation meeting where we brought forward our recommended cuts. I also met with several outside agencies, the Recycling Center, Board of Health, Library, Star Transit, Young at Heart, and the Chamber. And I appreciate their understanding, and these aren't easy conversations, but everybody is working with us, so I really appreciate that. And then finally, on April 20th, yesterday, I attended a task force meeting, which is focused on making our ordinances more development friendly, trying to make it a little easier to get things done around here without cutting corners. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Thompson?
Thank you, Your Honor. Last 2 weeks, I
I also attended the legislative panel that the chamber put on, very enlightening. Earlier that day, went to the chamber luncheon, and the travel and tourism put on a presentation, pretty much the same one that they gave us for their yearly report. On the 11th, got to go to the chamber again for a ribbon cutting for a PEO, women's group that's really in support of women's education. Did that on the 11th. On the 13th and 14th with the Civil Service Commission, we were fairly busy with testing some applicants. And on the 15th, went to another ribbon cutting. Chamber keeps me busy for express employment, for employment services here in Rock Springs. They're out of Casper, but they're reaching out to Rock Springs. And also attended an airport board meeting that morning. On the 16th, I went to the Prevention Coalition meeting. They hold that at Pin Up Coffee. I believe it's the second Wednesday of the month. And also that evening, went to the Vance Complex to do the conversation with the commissioners. Not as highly attended as we'd hope, but a lot of great information from our commissioners. And yesterday attended the agenda meeting, and that was it for me, sir.
All right, thank you. Councilor Malonis.
Thank you, Your Honor. I had a pretty busy couple weeks. I visited the Inside Connection Pregnancy Resource Center. Kimmy Seymour and her wonderful staff gave me a nice tour. They're up there by the old hospital. That's a beautiful old building. I think that was the nurses' home back in the day. And they have pregnancy tests, ultrasound, parenting classes, counseling for both men and women. Lord knows us guys need all the help we can get. It's all self-funded through donations. It's not funded by the city, so it's really good that they can keep going because there's a lot of agencies that have been defunded. And so they have a nice Facebook page if you want to take a look at some stuff and get some information. They also have another page where you can donate if you'd like to donate to the cause. You know, they have things like infant clothing, diapers, things like that. It was really eye-opening, and I'm glad we have people like that in this area because we sure need them. I also attended the GOP quarterly meeting. Nothing new there. I attended the nomination process for the clerk of district court because Donna Lee Boback retired. We had 5 candidates, went through a voting process. We got it down to 3, sent the names of the county commissioners. Congratulations to Amanda Chetterbach. She was nominated, but that position is up for election in November in case you're interested. I met with Councilman Hickerson to review the budget. Thank you very much, Larry. That was very insightful. Let's see. I attended an election integrity Zoom meeting with Joel Altman. I met with some very, very smart individuals on these calls. Machines are no good. They're easy to hack and manipulated. We need to Save America Act to pass now. Even though Wyoming has the most secure elections in the union, thanks to Chuck Gray, are still not good enough. I also attended the OTCC construction meeting, talked about some different projects that they could help out with down at the Civic Center. I attended the regular OTC meeting, and 2 things stand out. One was a headline in the newspaper said there was a clash. There was no clash at the Civic Center meeting. It was just a little discussion. So always, like I said before, be very discerning with what you read. And the second thing was they said the mayor was on the phone 6 different times during the meeting. They said they felt very insulted. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, can I clarify something? I was at the meeting and the mayor was not on the phone 6 different times. I just want to make that clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Demas.
Thank you. On April 9th, I attended the legislative report at the Young at Heart Senior Center. On April 11th, I did a ribbon cutting for the PEO. On April 14th, I did a video with the mayor on the role of how department heads and city council work together on the good of the city. On April 15th, I did a ribbon cutting on express employment professionals out of Casper who are expanding to Sweetwater County. On April 15th, I signed up for the Rock Springs Chamber of Commerce citywide cleanup. On April 16th, I attended conversation with the commissioners at the Sweetwater Events Complex. On April 18th, I volunteered at the mobile food pantry behind the White Mountain Mall, and we ran out of food and had to turn people away. And on April 18th, I attended the 125th anniversary dinner of the Eagles. And that's it.
Thank you. Counselor Pedri?
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Like the rest of us, started off my activity with attending the legislation update at the Young at Heart. It was good attendance, a lot of good conversation was had there. The following night, went to a fundraiser for the Rock Springs Tiger cheerleading that was hosted at Johnny Mac's little music bingo. So that was fun to participate in that. And then Saturday was the final Sweetwater County sorting jackpot out at the events complex, and people from all over the state come to that. And that was a lot of fun, participated in that as well. And the school board meeting on 4/13. And over the last weekend, we had the Rock Springs High School Rodeo. We hosted the first one of the spring season, and that took place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the Home and Garden Show was going on simultaneously. So a lot of people going back and forth, and good to interact with everybody in the community on that. We had some constituent calls, some drainage issues, and then today had quite a few calls on the bank offer that we'll be reviewing tonight. And would like to give a shout out to the fire department on behalf of Jace Jackman. They had a call today with some fire suppression that activated, and he called and let me know that the fire department not only did they help with the suppression, but getting things cleaned up and getting everything back in order. And just like to remind everyone of the upcoming events this week down at the Broadway. There's a lot going on down there, so check it out and get out and have some fun.
Thank you. I went to the OTCC budget meeting as well as attended most of their regular meeting. I met with Councilor Malonis, discussed the budget a bit. I attended the budget reconciliation meeting. I have attended the legislative panel that I think most of us were able to make. And made some movie about strong mayoral systems versus weak mayoral systems. Outside of that, I think we are ready to move to our consent agenda. First, we have approval of minutes from the city council meeting of April 7th, 2026. We have our officer and staff reports with the health insurance fund recap of March 2026, our Parks and Recreation monthly report from March 2026, the Rock Springs Renewal Fund financial statements of July 2025 through February of 2026. For council, committee, and board reports, we have the Rock Springs Historical Museum Board meetings minutes of November 12th, 2025. We have the Specific Purpose Tax Joint Powers Board meeting minutes of March 9th, 2026, and the Joint Powers Telecommunication Board minutes of March 26th, 2026. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilor Zadi,
move to approve the consent agenda.
thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Pedri. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstaining? Thank you. With that, it brings us to bid openings. You'll have to excuse us. Dan and I aren't exactly professional at this.
Close.
Close, but not quite. First, we have the Crack Seal
Project.
Phase 1 project for 2026. And I believe there's just one. No, there's three.
Yeah.
I'm told there's three. Thank you. I'll get it. He'll be fine. Our first one is from R&D Sweeping and Asphalt Services in Rock Springs. The total bid amount is $78,544, and there is a bid bond attached. There's that fun part. Somebody should have sharpened their knife. Our next one is from Asphalt Preservation out of West Haven, Utah. Total bid amount is $80,936.00. There is a bid bond attached. Next one definitely has a bid bond. It is from Z&Z Silk Coating Incorporated out of Billings, Montana. So there's their bid bond. Heck yeah, the total bid amount is $88,089.50. $88,089.50. Which brings us to our bid openings for the 2026 overlay project. And we have 2 bids to open there. Our first one is from Kilgore Companies, doing business as Lewis & Lewis Incorporated. That is all the stick. This bid comes in at $1,227,316.25. $1,227,316.25. There is a bid bond attached. Our next bid comes from R&D Sweeping and Asphalt Maintenance here in Rock Springs as well. Our total bid for this is $1,197,149.50. $1,197,149.50. And there is a bid bond attached. Which then brings us to our 2026 concrete replacement, of which we have 2 bids. Our first bid is from DiBernardi Construction here in Rock Springs. There's our bid bond, and our bid total is $405,800.00. $405,800.00, and there is a bid bond. Our next one comes from Madsen Construction, also here in Rock Springs. And this total is $553,430.00. $553,430.00, and there is a bid bond. That's the DeMonardi portion. I accidentally forgot it. Which then brings us to our 2026 Century West Splash Pad Park project. Park Splash. Wow.
Splash Park.
Easy
Yeah,
for you to
that.
say.
And we have one bid there. And it comes out of Ohio from Waterboys Construction. There's that. Waterboys. Overall bid price is $474,870.00. $474,870.00. And there is a bid bond attached. So, thankfully we were able to make it through that. Which brings us to our presentations and proclamations. Is there anybody here who would like to speak on Library Week? Feel free, come on up.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. My name's Constance Potts. I'm the manager of the Rock Springs Library here on C Street. And this is Amanda Romero. She's the manager of the Community Fine Arts Center. She has a few treats that she'll hand out as I go through my speech, and hopefully don't stumble. Today we are here for National Library Week, a time to celebrate the impact that libraries have in their communities. This year's National Library Week theme is Find Your Joy. So I want to take a few minutes to talk about the things that we librarians find joyful at the Sweetwater County Libraries. Libraries have something for everyone. Your Sweetwater County Libraries are dedicated to open access for information and lifelong learning. Libraries have programs for people of all ages, from toddler time for our youngest residents to craft programs and presentations for adults. We've also seen an 18% increase in attendance in this fiscal year, so I'm pretty sure people like us. Libraries offer access to Wi-Fi, computers, printing, copying, and faxing, all free of charge. These are services that many of our community wouldn't have without their libraries. And this year, to help with those who may be struggling with technology, we have started 30-minute individual technology sessions that people can sign up for. Sweetwater County Libraries have worked to make library materials accessible, even for those who cannot visit a physical building. We have an outreach program that delivers materials to patrons who are homebound. We have digital materials that are available through devices, and we bring services to places such as senior centers and rural areas like McKinnon. Sweetwater County Libraries have strong relationships with our local schools. We recently formed a partnership with Sweetwater County School District Number 1 that allows parents to sign their children up for a county library card through the school's registration portal. We have processed many cards so far and look to continue that every year. The students at Holy Spirit Catholic School visit the library every month, and we have started new programs specifically for homeschool families that have become very popular. Our newly renovated meeting rooms are now all open and available for reservations free of charge to the public, and people have quickly lined up to use them. Each of the libraries in the Sweetwater County Library System has something unique, from games and American Girl dolls to a seed library, art exhibits, and the Children's Discovery Center. So if you haven't utilized any of those, we highly recommend going there and checking them out. And since today is National Library Workers' Day, I want to share my appreciation for everyone who works for the Sweetwater County Library System. Day-to-day operations would not be available without our well, everyone's hard work and skills and creativity. This National Library Week, we are encouraging Sweetwater County residents to visit their libraries and find their joy. At the Green River, Rock Springs, and White Mountain Libraries, we have a book walk this week featuring the book, I Am So Happy You're Here, A Celebration of Library Joy, by Michael Threets, who is the new Reading Rainbow host. There are also opportunities to enter into a drawing to receive a copy of this book. We actually have it both in English and in Spanish. I appreciate your continued support of the Sweetwater County Library System and of the role that libraries play in providing access to all members of our community.
Thank you. Council, is there anything you guys would like to ask or add? All right, thank you. With
Thank
that,
you.
Libraries spark creativity, fuel imagination, and inspire lifelong learning, offering a space where individuals of all ages can explore new ideas and be drawn into new possibilities. Libraries serve as vibrant community hubs, connecting people with knowledge, technology, and resources while fostering civic engagement, critical thinking, and lifelong learning. Libraries provide free and equitable access to books, digital tools, and innovative programming, ensuring that all individuals, regardless of background, have the support they need to learn, connect, and thrive. Libraries partner with schools, businesses, and organizations, connecting the dots to maximize resources, increase efficiency, and expand access to essential services, strengthening the entire community. Libraries empower job seekers, entrepreneurs, and lifelong learners by providing access to resources, training, and opportunities that support career growth and economic success. Libraries nurture young minds through story times, STEAM programs, and literacy initiatives, fostering curiosity and a love of learning that lasts a lifetime. Libraries protect the right to read, think, and explore without censorship, standing as champions of intellectual freedom and free expression. Dedicated librarians and library workers provide welcoming spaces that inspire discovery, collaboration, and creativity for all. Libraries, librarians, and library workers across the country are joining it to celebrate the National Library Week under the theme, Find Your Joy. Now therefore be it resolved that Max Mickelson, Mayor of Rock Springs, does hereby declare the week of April 19th through 25th, 2026 to be Library Week in Rock Springs, Wyoming, and encourages all residents to visit their library, explore its resources, and celebrate all the ways in which the library draws us together as a community. And if you guys would like, Max will be back here in a few days to sign this for you.
Okay, thank you.
If you'll come take a picture with all of us, that would be fantastic.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Thank you again. That brings us to our next proclamation, which is for National Apprenticeship Week. Is there anybody here who would like to speak to that?
Thank you, President Hickerson. My name is Rick Lee. I'm the CEO of the Rock Springs Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, City Council, for recognizing this evening. Just real quickly, I just wanted to point out that this is the 12th anniversary of raising awareness for the vital role that apprenticeships play in our economy and our economic growth. We believe that registered apprenticeship programs help to contribute to our ongoing quest to diversify in Wyoming. Is something that you all have been working on for decades. And it's something that Wyoming has always been aware of, and Rock Springs has always been a part of that awareness and the need for it. I don't know how many of you have had the opportunity to work with apprentices, but we've done that at the Chamber of Commerce, and it's been a very good experience in some occasions. We had the opportunity a few years ago to host Councilman Bingham's son, and it was a great experience for us, and I hope it was for him as well. But it's just a great opportunity for growth, and this proclamation will give us the opportunity to honor and encourage continued programs to go on and to keep moving forward as the young people that you see here dressed representing our nation can go into the workforce and maybe make a decision of what they want to do in life. And it just gives us an opportunity to combine us old people with these young people and continue our economy in a healthy and productive way. And so I thank you for this opportunity and appreciate this opportunity to be here today. So thank you.
Thank you. Council, anything?
Your Honor?
Councilor Rosati?
I have some comments on the apprentice program. I know the state of Wyoming does offer, I think through Workforce Services, they will pay for certain apprenticeships. We had utilized that through a company I formerly worked with, Wyoming Financial, and my daughter was recently able to take advantage of that through an apprentice program in Casper, which meant the difference of her doing it for free or actually getting paid an hourly wage to be an apprentice. So it's a wonderful program to take advantage of that we have here in Wyoming.
Absolutely. Thank you, Councilman.
Councilor Bingham?
And thank you, Rick, for being here. And yes, great, and had a good time, and really appreciated that program, and the opportunity of the Chamber of Commerce. And that's an important thing that we try to do in our local economy is keep our youth here if we can. And the apprentice programs do, promote that. So thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. With that, whereas National Apprenticeship Week is celebrating its 12th anniversary of raising awareness of the vital role that registered apprenticeships play in providing opportunities to the people of Wyoming by allowing apprentices to earn while they learn and preparing a pathway to good quality jobs and well-paying careers and the ability to advance in those careers. Registered apprenticeship programs enable employers to develop and train their future workforce while offering career seekers affordable paths to secure high-paying jobs. Apprenticeship is an important post-secondary pathway for Wyoming workers, offering a combination of academic and technical instruction with paid on-the-job training, resulting in a nationally and industry-recognized occupational credential that ensures higher earnings for apprentices and a highly skilled workforce for Wyoming employers, associations, and unions. Registered apprenticeship programs are uniquely able to meet the changing demands of the Wyoming economy and provide a path for all qualified individuals, including women, youth, people of color, rural communities, justice-involved individuals, and individuals with disabilities to become apprentices and contribute to America's industries. Wyoming recognizes that registered apprenticeships, a proven and industry-driven training model, is a key strategy to improving job quality and creating access to good-paying, family-sustaining jobs for all, while addressing some of our nation's pressing workforce challenges, such as rebuilding our country's infrastructure, addressing critical supply chain demands, and supporting a clean energy workforce, modernizing our cybersecurity response, and responding to care economy issues. Now therefore be it resolved that Max Mickelson, Mayor of Rock Springs, does hereby declare April 26th, 2026 through May 2nd, 2026 to be National Apprenticeship Week in the city of Rock Springs, and encourages industries to utilize or could benefit from apprenticeship model to recognize the role of the apprenticeship system has played in preparing Wyoming apprentices for sustainable careers with family-sustaining wages. With that, where did Rick go? Let's go take a picture, and we will move on.
All right.
All right, thank you again. With that, we will move to a presentation from Scouting America Troop 3070. I see there is some people here to speak upon that.
Hi, my
Hi.
name is Chloe Hager, and I'm the senior patrol leader for our local Scout Troop 3070. We recently merged Boys Troop 70 and Girls Troop 307 to make one troop because we became a family troop. We merged. Tonight we are here as a troop to ask a few questions from you. The Scouts are asking some questions and are seeking some knowledgeable answers for their next ranks and for requirements for different merit badges that they're working on. And then they're also curious about their local government system and how that works. After they ask some questions, I'm personally here as well regarding permissions for my Eagle Scout project. So I'd like Autumn.
Hello, my name's Autumn Carson, and I have a question for you. What steps will you take to provide fun places for kids during the summer so they are not bored and running around places getting into trouble?
Council, Councilor Demas.
We're just remodeling the splash park. We opened up bids tonight, so at Century Park, there'll be a fun park for them to play at.
Anybody else? Councilor Zadi.
We do have multiple facilities within the city at the rec center, golf course, civic center, Watahad, multiple fields. And we do what we can to keep those maintained and operating fully to help provide activities for youth. This rec department also provides various, I think, clubs and different activities throughout the summer as well that you can check into and maybe be part of.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Your Honor.
Councilor Pedri.
Yeah, I'd just like to encourage everyone, not only the youth, but adults to get involved. There's activities from the downtown at Bunning Park, concerts in the park, to the Wyoming Big Show coming up, like Councilman Zadi said. There's the baseball fields, softball, there's basketball, and not only in Rock Springs, our neighboring town of Green River, there's a ton of activities from biking trails to hiking to just going up and checking out hopefully waterfalls up on White Mountain. There's a lot that you can do without getting into trouble, but stay busy. That's my recommendation.
Thank you. Hope that answered your question.
All right, thank you. Hello, my name is Aurora Baker. I am part of Troop 3070, and I'm currently working on my Eagle project, which is the last rank of Scouts. Having come this far, a lot of scouting and what we do is leadership. Of course, we are always learning the skills. Of course, we're always looking into those. We do little parts of little different careers, all that type of stuff. But a majority of our work is leadership. And I wanted to ask, how does leadership play a role in being a councilwoman or a councilman of Rock Springs?
Council. Councilor Bingham. You can use your words before you.
What's that? Making fun of me. Thank you for being here. Glad you're working on your Eagle Scout. It's a very important role. We get put on different committees and such, and sometimes you assume a leadership role in that. But really, it's, if there's an issue out there, it's grabbing a bull by its horns and taking care of that issue, whether it's working with people and constituents and stuff. But leadership is also about working with others, not just sitting up there and barking orders at people and such. It's working with others and influencing others. So it's important, I'm one council person on here, one vote, and it's important to work with those others. And I think that's an important attribute of leadership.
Thank you. Counselor
I
Hanson.
want to congratulate you on working on your Eagle Scout project. Do you have an Eagle Scout project?
Would you like to hear about it?
I would, yes.
Okay. I am working with Overland Elementary, and we are going to put, it's a bigger than a box, but it's like a shed that people are able to grab from at any time for helping families in need. I was also going to do a project, I don't know if you've ever heard of Scouting for Food, but it would be similar to that, where we go door to door and we have little bags with little posters on them where we ask people for donations that we can put in those boxes. We hope to run that box all year. We hope for that to be something that people can grab from any time without having to go into a certain place and feel like vulnerable or something like that. So they can just come and grab it whenever they need. It'll have a variety of stuff in there. It'll be outside an elementary school, so it'll be easy to access. And another thing that we're doing for them is providing resources or people that can help them with their kitchen. Currently, Overland Elementary does not have the structure or the materials to be able to cook fresh meals. They're having to use warmers instead of being able to make fresh meals for kids. Another thing Overland Elementary does is they help teach parents, especially because they have younger kids, they help teach parents like how maybe they can make food out of this specific item for a long period of time. They help support the community in that way. That's another reason they want to be able to have the structure, to be able to cook those meals, so they can do classes, and so they can cook fresh meals for those kids.
And back to answering your question from the beginning, leadership is what you're doing right now. I tell you what, you're setting an example for everybody else in the troop and actually everybody else in the community by your involvement and by setting the example and doing a wonderful job. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other council members like to address her question?
Your Honor, I'll touch on it real quick.
Councilor Pedri.
Yeah, thanks. Just like Councilman Hanson said, leadership is how you represent yourself, and there's always somebody watching, and you can make a difference where you don't even know that you're making one, whether it's picking up your phone and answering a call or attending an event for someone and just putting your best foot forward. And your project sounds fantastic. Keep up the good work with that, but you're on the right path. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. For me, I'd say leadership also includes, especially in a setting such as this, finding the portions of advancing the city forward that the majority of us can agree on, instead of focusing on the differences we have and the places we disagree, trying to find the points we agree on and trying to better the city that way as a group. Thank you.
Maybe add a little too.
Councilor Zadi.
Being a good leader is being able to identify your strengths and weaknesses and identify the strengths and weaknesses of those that you are leading and utilize those to your to the benefit of the group, and not micromanage or try to take control or credit for everything, but let people do what their strengths are and really help your people grow, those that you are leading. If you're helping them grow and advance, you're doing a good job.
Your Honor?
Councilor Malonis.
You know, I think leadership is probably what we need more than anything else in this country right now. I want to tie it into the library. Leaders or readers, never stop growing, never stop learning. Keep going and lead the way for all your followers, and hopefully you can create some more leaders yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question.
Thank you so much.
Hello, my name's Madison Full. I'm currently a second class rank, and my question is, what is the civic duty of a person living in Rock Springs?
Council? Councilor Zadi.
Civic duty for anybody is to do what's right and be there for your neighbors as best you can, and to just put your best foot forward with everything you do and cause no harm.
Councilor Hanson.
I think also the civic duty is just to be knowledgeable and be informed. Find out, make sure that you get in, and there's a lot of different subjects, a lot of topics, a lot of things going on in the community, and it's important that you get involved with the community, and then make sure you get all the facts so that you know what you're talking about when you're doing it. But I think it's it's important that you have an opinion. Let people know what it is. Not always do they agree with it, but it creates a discussion or a conversation that you can learn and grow, or someone else can also. So I think that's important.
Counselor Malonis?
I think one of the number one civic responsibilities is to vote. In order to vote, you should be educated on your candidates. I think we only got about 30% turnout for voter turnout. That's pretty bad for America. So I think that's probably one of the number one responsibilities, is to make sure when you're of age that you register and know your candidates and get out and vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your question.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Harper, and I'm working on my first class rank, and I'm part of Troop 3070. How do you feel that it is hard to serve on the city council, and what challenges have you faced?
Council?
I can start that. Did you ask how long have you served?
No.
How
Do you
have-
feel that it's hard to serve on the city council, and what challenges have you
Was
faced?
it hard to serve?
Yeah.
I don't know that it's hard, but it is challenging. There's a lot you deal with. Budget right now is what we're dealing with at the budget session. And as it was mentioned before, we get, the way that works is departments put in requests for the year and what they would like to see their budget look like. And then it's our job to go through and balance those wishes with our income and make sure that our priorities for the city are met. That's probably the most challenging part, is making those decisions and those cuts. I can say in this year's budget, and in several years, the requests that are made are things that are very much needed in the community. There's really not much that you look at and think, what the heck are they asking this money for this? So it's hard to cut those things and cut back, because there are a lot of needs within the community. And that's probably one of the hardest things that we have, or that we're facing now, is with budget session. And the other is really, and you can't please everybody. That's a big challenge. Some people might like a decision you made, some may not like, and they'll let you know it, but you can't let that affect you. You just go on about your day and do what you feel is best for the community. So.
Councilor Pedri?
Your Honor. Harper, that's a fantastic question. And there's an easy thing to do and there's a right thing to do. And a lot of times the right thing isn't the easy thing to do. So the advice that I can give to anybody that's watching is that if you know it's a right thing to do, you have to stand up for what you believe in and make that decision, even if it isn't popular amongst some, but the majority has to speak in this role that we have taken. So we have to be the voice of the constituents that reach out and make sure that we're doing the job that they elected us to do. And I'd like to just keep integrity close to my heart, and that's to do the right thing when no one is looking. So even if you feel like that nobody's watching, there's always somebody, and that's your own conscience. So at the end of the night, if you can go to bed and sleep easy knowing that you did the right thing, then you are serving the people, and that was what you're elected to do.
Your Honor.
Councilor Thompson?
A lot of this is a part-time job. A lot of the people up here on this council still have their full-time regular jobs. I'm lucky I'm retired. I can put some more time into this. But a lot of the folks up here, you got to give credit to, they're working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, plus serving the people of Rock Springs. So it's takes a little bit of the extra time. You have to be willing to sacrifice a little bit up here. Thank you.
As an individual members of the city council, do you feel like you all have equal power in decision making?
Your Honor.
Counselor Pedri?
I'm nominating you to answer that.
Oh. I would say I feel all of us individually have equal right to vote our conscience and speak our mind and listen to our constituents, because that's who we are here to represent. When they do contact us, I feel we take that into consideration, try to put their needs from what they've communicated to us first. I don't think that the council members, whether you're the president or the new guy, have any less of a voice. And in our governmental system, the mayor does have more power, but our 8 bodies up here have the ability to check that power, so the mayor can't go and do everything they want. Anybody else?
No, you nailed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Daniel, and this is my question. What steps will you take to attract new industries and jobs to our region?
Council?
Okay, you want to do it?
Counselor Bingham?
Yeah, okay. So we, at least we have it in the budget for now, but we are hoping to partner with the county and the other city to fund a economic development organization to work with existing businesses. One thing you have to take care of first in your community is your existing businesses and for them to grow. Because it doesn't do any good bringing in new industries and to compete against our current industries and such. So that's the first thing you take care of. And then you work on the potential of bringing in new businesses or looking at, let's just say, the trona mines, the soda ash and stuff. What can we bring added product to that? Things like that. So we've definitely had an active role in the past. That's part of the reason why Keltec is here, which is a firearms manufacturer, was the city working with the county and Green River to bring that. So we're really working all together is the important thing. So those are some of the things we're working on. So great question.
Okay.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Your Honor.
Counselor Malonis?
You ask what we can do to attract businesses. In order to attract, you must become attractive. We got to work on our reputation, our image, and our brand. Make us look as good as possible so people love to come here and raise a family or start a business or whatever else. So yeah, we need to become more attractive. Okay.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Counselor Pedri?
Daniel, that great question. And I think what we have to do are retain young people and have the youth get more active and be involved in helping us achieve that goal. You guys are great thinkers. You think outside of the box, and sometimes we get a little tunnel vision. So what the main thing that we have to do is focus in on where we stand and what we can grow. And in order to do that, we have to have everybody involved. So spread the word amongst your friends and be active with us.
Okay.
Thank you for the question.
Hello, my name is Michael, and I have a question for you. What meetings do you have to attend besides the first and third Tuesday night meetings?
Council?
Your Honor.
Counselor Zadi?
There's several meetings. We're on different committees as far as the council members go. Meetings for like building committee, budget committee. I do liaison for the Chamber of Commerce, so I attend their board meetings. So it just depends on kind of what committees you're on and how many or what you're going to attend. So there are several meetings throughout the year. Right now, budget is probably the most active. kind of the basic, several meetings, I'll say.
Counselors, anybody else? Counselor
Thank you.
Demas?
I'm on the dispatch board. I'm also, I'm trying to think what else. We're on a lot of boards. The mayor gives us the boards at the beginning of the year that we will represent. And we have at least 4 to 5 different meetings a month, at least.
Anybody else? All right, thank you for your question.
Thanks.
Hello, my name is Abigail, and my question for you is, how do you resolve complaints?
How do we what?
My name is Abigail, and my question for you is, how do you resolve complaints?
Solve complaints?
Counselor Bingham?
So I don't know about the rest of you, but I do receive a lot of complaints on nuisances. And so when those do come in, they come in from our constituents, people who live in our different wards. And then usually what we do is we forward, when something like that comes in, to the appropriate department, whether it's nuisance or a zoning or something like that. You know, if somebody's not taking care of their property, like weeds and stuff. And then they resolve that, whether it's a violation process to verify whether it is or not. But those are, I don't know about the rest of you, but that's one of the number one things I receive. So thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Counselor Zadi?
I'd say there are times too, over the years, that I've had people with complaints that there may be something we just can't resolve. It may be out of our power, it may not be within our jurisdiction or whatnot, but the best thing that we can do is really just listen to what people have to say, listen to what their complaint is, and be understanding of their complaints, and help where we can. But there are times there's limits that you just can't address everything. But other than that, it's pretty much what Councilor Bingham had said as far as dealing with and handling complaints.
Yeah, thank you.
Your Honor.
Counselor Pedri?
First, I start by giving them Larry's number. When that doesn't work, I listen to what they have going on and then try to funnel it through the appropriate channels and making sure that we follow up too, so they can see what action has been taken, whether it's drainage, weeds, barking dog, somebody running a business out of their garage, whatever it may be. We take action, document it, and follow up.
Anybody else? Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Hello, counselors and substitute mayor. My name is Jasmine.
I like that.
And my rank today, my rank is scout, and my question today is, what is your primary goal to accomplish during the renaming term?
Counselors? Okay, Counselor
I'll
Bingham.
start. So immediately is to hopefully get a budget that we can work with is the first thing. But one thing, and the one thing that I ran on, was to definitely, if there's ways we can streamline the permitting process or in the regulations, if there's some things that we can do to make it a little bit easier for people to build things. Those are some of the things that I'm working on, and it happens that we started a committee task force yesterday. So I'm hoping we can get some stuff accomplished here this year. So thank you.
Substitute Mayor. One thing that I'd like to see make sure get implemented is our priority-based budgeting that we've been working on. I do think it's going to help a lot, and it's going to help us prioritize better on what the community needs and wants and desires, and also become hopefully more clear and transparent to the public of where their funds are going and where the money's being spent. So.
All right. For my part, I would say for the remainder of at least the next 12 months, during our city council retreat, we found 3 to 4 high priority items that the council mostly agreed on. And I would really like to see them come to fruition over the next year. And then hopefully in the future years, we can pick some major projects to continue to improve on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, once again, I'm Chloe Hager. This is the part where I talk about my Eagle project. I've come here to sort of ask permission as well as ask for advice. As working on my Eagle Scout rank, which is one of the highest achievements in scouting. As a part of this process, I'm required to complete a service project that benefits my community. For my Eagle project, I'd like to complete an improvement project at Arthur Park, and I'm here tonight to ask for your guidance and approval on how to move forward with this. Arthur Park is already home to a goggleball pit, which was completed as a scout project a few years ago. It has become a place where children gather, play, and build friendships. I have personally seen how much joy that space brings. But something I've also noticed is that there isn't a comfortable place for spectators, especially grandparents, to sit and watch their grandchildren play. Many of them end up standing nearby or leaving sooner than they would like to because there isn't a place to rest. The goal of my project is to create a comfortable and durable seating area that will benefit the community. It will be placed near the goggleball pit so that parents, grandparents, and other visitors can sit, stay longer, and enjoy watching the children play. It's a simple addition, but one that I believe will make a meaningful difference for families in our community. I also want to make sure to consider our local weather conditions, such as strong winds and winter weather. Right now, I'm considering 3 possible approaches. The first option I'm thinking of is to build both a bench and a shelter structure, similar to a bus stop, that would provide immediate protection from wind and snow. This option offers the most functionality right away, but it also entails greater construction complexity and long-term maintenance. The second option, which I'm currently leaning towards, is to install a commercial weather-resistant bench and build a shelter around it. This option offers both durability and immediate protection. The third option is to install a commercial bench and plant trees around it to create a natural windbreak and shade over time. This option offers strong environmental benefits and lower construction risk, but it would take several years for the trees to provide meaningful shelter. While I am still evaluating which option would be most effective, I'm committed to working with the city to ensure the final design meets the community needs and standards. I am open to suggestions regarding any of these ideas. Depending on the options selected in the future, the project will cost between approximately $600 and $1,200. This project will be fully funded through my own fundraising efforts and donations, and I will lead a team of volunteers to complete the installation safely and in accordance with city guidelines. At this point, I am seeking your input on which option best aligns with the city's needs and standards, as well as guidance on the proper approval process and who I should coordinate with moving forward. I would be honored to receive your approval and to work with the Parks Department to determine the best placement for the bench. Thank you for your time and consideration of my project.
Thank you. I would say getting with JJ would be the best first step you could take, and he can, I would assume, work with you through the entire process. We've had youth coming up for their Eagle Scouts, do some smaller projects for play areas at parks, so I think that would be perfect. And I would say JJ is definitely the person you need to talk to. And he'll tell you which plan works best for the city as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One final question for our troop. We're wondering if there's a way that our troop can get permission to camp at Arrowhead Springs for a weekend, and then how we could get that permission.
Unfortunately, I do believe that is a county park, so you would have to inquire with the county commission.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Nobody else?
Your Honor.
Councilor
I had to say real quickly, you guys, job well done. The way you presented yourselves, your questions and everything else. And I know sometimes it's nerve-wracking to stand up and talk in front of people, but each and every one of you did a fantastic job, so.
Good job. Thank you.
Would it be possible for them to get a picture with you?
Yeah. Absolutely. We can take a photo.
They can squat down, they're younger, they got bendable knees.
All of us. Thursday. Excuse me, sir.
Curfew's
You're breaking curfew. You can tell the boss I said so.
The tree one. Listen.
It'd be cool. I believe that takes us to the Bunning Park project update with Mitchard McPeak, the project manager from the Wyoming DEQ AML division. Give him a second after everything clears out.
I was thinking the same.
Some sugar rush.
Yeah.
Then I leave them in my pant pockets and my wet washers and it gets mad. Well,
No, thank you. I have some.
That's a tough act to follow.
Good luck.
Yeah, we don't have any questions, so that's good. Those are some tough questions. Richard McPeak, project manager for AML. This is Ryan Reed. He's the program manager for AML, which makes him much more busy than I am with everything that I do. But as far as the Bunning Park Drill and Grout project, it's been going for a while, so we thought it would be appropriate to come and give you guys an update on it. We have a presentation that we really hope will work. It works. Okay. As I said, Richard McPeak. I'm here to present an update on the Bunning Park Drill and Grout project. And Ryan's going to give you an introduction to the Central Coal and Coke Company mine, number 2 mine, phase 1 drilling and grouting project. Start out with an update. Important dates for the Bunning Park. We had August 18th of last year. That was when we gave the notice to proceed. Mobilization and drilling began on September 2nd. December 3rd, 2025, that is when our winter shutdown began. Of course, it's in quotes because you all saw what happened with winter. January 19th, the winter shutdown ends. The weather was just too good. We had the shortest winter shutdown pretty much of all times, and that's very helpful for what we needed to get done. Started back up January 19th of this year. May 22nd, that's our big date. That's the date that we have to have the planned completion date for everything inside Bunning Park, as well as the Elk Street paved lot for Bunning Park. Well, thanks to the good weather, the construction work will likely, we believe it'll be done with the lot and inside Bunning Park by our promised date of May 22nd. Even at that, work will continue in the surrounding streets afterwards. This isopack map here, this represents the depth to coal, bottom of mine, depth to bottom of coal. So as you can see, the reds and orange and yellows, that's not a very high, not much overburden to mine. Generally, we like to get to at least 200 feet and less overburden is what we have to mitigate. Much over 200, the subsidence effects aren't quite as pronounced. So as you can see from this isopack map, you look into the southeastern corner And you can see there's not much cover in that portion of the park. Following the dip of the coal seam up to the northwest, you can see where you gain more cover, but it still needs to be mitigated. It's still under 200. This was our original Bunning Park drilling plan. You can see the little pink, whatever, marks for each one of these is our drilling borehole we're going to drill. Have to drill. You can see that there are some inside the park. You'll see surrounding the park, there's quite a few. And then there's also some unpaved lots around the park. And we'll look at the next one. This is what it looks like currently. You can see that, looking at the figure, we're getting really close to the park. We're down to 15 holes inside the park, 8 holes in the parking lot. You can see we're getting down to basically the streets. So if you look at the legend here, green are the ones we're able to actually get grout into the ground. The blue were ones that are pillar, so they were not previously mined. So a pillar does not receive grout. And then, speaking of grout takes, this is the summary table for Bunning Park so far. Out of 111, this is last Friday. Out of 111 drilled, 46 were void/rubble, which means it can take grout. Pillar, 51. Grouted pillar. Grouted pillar is an instance when you're drilling and you encounter grout in your cuttings from either one of your previous boreholes on the project or from a previous mobilization into that area. 13 of those were grouted pillar. Abandoned, 1. Sometimes you just lose a hole, have to move over and do it again. The total grout so far installed in Bunning Park, 4,058 cubic yards. That's roughly 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. As we said, total holes remaining to grout within Bunning Park, 15. And then the highest grout takes we got so far for Bunning Park, we had one that took 431 yards. The mixer trucks that we have, that you see going around town, they're 10 yards. So this is the equivalent of 43.1 mixer trucks in that hole. 43 there, the next one, 416, 41.6 mixer trucks, 32.2, and then this is the distribution of where the big takers were. And you can notice that right next to a 431, we got a 416 and a 430. That's just a lot of volume right next to each other. And on some of these, such as the 430, we had communication with boreholes that were sometimes a couple hundred feet away, pushing water out. So there were definitely interconnected mine workings in the Bunning Park area as we were doing this. Show you some progress photos. And you can see, this is several different types of rigs we're running. This is a truck mounted rig. You'll notice that they protect the ground by tracking on the park board to help protect the surface of the grass surface of the park. They put down the plastic sheeting to help with any spills of drilling fluid waters. This is a buggy rig, as you can see, still protecting the ground, and really, Nucor is our drilling contractor, and I think they've done an admirable job protecting the park. They always do an admirable job. They are doing a particularly good job protecting the park as they're tracking on it. This is another view of the same one. Just to point out that they're taking great efforts to protect the park as they're in it. And this is a tractor rig. That one will come in later as we're discussing. Then towards the end of last year, we got the type of winter shutdown. You guys put your decorations up, it looked great. This is a startup after this year. We have, this is the lot out by Elk Street. And then this is what I put in for the mayor to show him that the trees are budding, because he was real concerned about the trees budding again. And in our efforts, we pothole every single borehole. And we set up a procedure by talking to an arborist as to what is acceptable as far as a tree root, so we didn't damage the trees. So far, it looks like it's been very successful. The trees are coming back. So the Bunning Park conclusions, as seen by the high amounts of grout installed, substantial voids were actually present underneath Bunning Park, and necessitated the need to mitigate. Mitigation work prevents mine subsidence issues from occurring at Bunning Park and the surrounding areas. At this time, AMO believes that the Bunning Park and the Elk Street parking lot will be completed by Memorial Day. Activities will continue in the streets surrounding Bunning Park throughout the upcoming summer season. Streets affected will be portions of Elk Street, Noble Street, J Street, K Street, and portions of Pilot Butte Avenue. And that's the update we had for Bunning. I wondered if we would just go straight into the next one and take questions all at the end, if that's okay? You can't hear that
at home. It's street, so.
Oh, okay. So what
No.
Okay. I will.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and talk about the next project that we're planning to start this year. So this is on the old historic Central Coal and Coke Company #2 mine, and it'll be the first phase for this project. So construction is expected to begin in mid-May to early June. It will run throughout the summer to late fall, and we'll be concluding by the end of this year. We're going to be grouting portions of the Central Coal and Coke #2 mine. This is located in the southeastern portion of town. We'll have a map here showing that. This is going to affect residents along Wyoming, Vermont, Connecticut, and New Hampshire streets. And just like the case with the Bunning Park project, this is the same type of work where we're drilling and then injecting grout into the ground to mitigate underground mine voids. So here's again another isopac map for the area that we're looking to mitigate. Again, your reds and oranges, that's less than 50 feet of cover, basically between the surface and where that coal seam is, and where we start encountering mine workings and all that. In this area, we're only really mitigating up to about 150 feet of depth of cover. So it's just one phase. There's other areas that we will be addressing over time, but this area is just of more importance right now, so we will be starting there. Here's our planned drill hole layouts. So again, that's the magenta little dots you see there. We're going to be working up and down the streets. In addition to that, on that 1300 Vermont, we'll be going throughout the whole lot and getting definitely some of the shallowest portions. The black that you see in the background there, that is the historic mine map for the mine. And what that hatch represents is what they called pillar robbing. That's where the miners actually came back in at the very end, and they would mine as much as the coal pillars they could that basically they felt safe with, and then would leave as soon as they could. But as you can see, that whole area is definitely undermined and quite shallow. So some known projects or known challenges with this project is that those streets are very narrow and it's tight, and so we're definitely taking proactive measures with our contractor. They'll be submitting, a traffic control plan with the city for approval. The contractor will implement that plan. We're going to correspond directly with the residents to make sure that, we can basically maneuver in such a way that everyone still has a, place to access their homes and everything, and we're not in their way too much. Even then, at any point in time, we're going to be moving from location to location. So even though the whole project will go till late fall this year, we're only going to be in one spot as long as it takes to get the work done. There's a lot of utilities in this area. Our contractors are required to pothole, and that's an attempt to basically down to the depth of the utilities, suck out the dirt and just see if there's anything in the way before we drill. In addition, we work with the city, for city utilities and, locates as best we can on that. We've also gone ahead and contracted with a company to survey the storm sewer lines in the area, and they helped do some locates on that. So we have a fairly good idea where at least where the storm water lines are. And again, like I said, we're going to be working in front of residents, but we will do our utmost to, try and do everything in a safe and effective manner and expedite the work as fast as we can and get out of there. Just some protective measures that we implement during mitigation, and we're doing this right now at Bunning Park as well, but our contractors required to use a basically laser motion sensor, basically detects ground movement within 1/100th of a foot. When it does, alarm will sound. This is to prevent us from heaving the ground. We're trying to fill the voids. We're definitely not trying to move the ground, and anytime you move the ground can actually cause damage to anything on the surface. So we do a lot of protective measures to prevent us from doing that. Again, like I said, we're going to locate utilities to the max extent possible. This year we completed a road scan with a contractor who came out and scanned all the roads, and basically that's given us a current condition of all the road surfaces. We will be coming back after our work and doing a road scan again, and that way we will be able to detect if there's any changes that have occurred as part of our work on those streets. And additionally, we offer subsidence insurance to any of the residents. We offer it for free for the first year while we're doing our work, and the subsequent year as well. If the resident wants to continue to carry that insurance after that, it's up to their own decision. But it's definitely not required of the homeowner if they don't want it. It's just something we offer for them. You want to cover ones there, Richard? Or?
Sure. Process for getting a WMSIP policy. First step you would have to do is to fill out the consent form to get a pre-policy inspection. We send these to the people that are in areas adjacent to our project areas. They would get the surface owner consent for reclamation, fill it out, return it to us. Next, our consultant, Western EGI, would conduct a pre-policy inspection. They will call to schedule an inspection. We'll meet with you to conduct it. Report of the inspection will be filed with WMSIP. Policy will be established, but this is the only time that anyone will need access to your home. Only follow-up visits that would occur would be at the request of a property owner who initiates a subsidence claim.
So in summary, yeah, we're almost done with construction with Bunning Park. We'll be moving on to Elk Street and the surrounding streets. That project will also be done by the end of the year. I think we mentioned that at the beginning there. Again, we greatly appreciate the support and patience of the people of Rock Springs. We've received a lot of good feedback from the public with our work. And, again, I'd like to thank our contractor as well for taking a lot of effort to make sure that, we're protecting the ground surface and limiting, our impact as much as possible during this work. We definitely please recommend that people consider taking advantage of our WinZip program during our work. It's just another layer of coverage that can be applied to homes that if there is any subsidence related damage that might occur during the course of our work and, up to the years afterwards, that policy can be used to cover that damage. So it's definitely something we recommend. And we always welcome, questions from stakeholders involved. And we want the residents of Rock Springs to feel like their concerns are being heard. And with that, does anyone have any questions?
Council?
Just a quick comment, I guess. Just a word to the public that your homeowner's policy will not respond to subsidence. So if you're getting work done, don't think that that's a possibility, that coverage will be there. This is the only program you're going to get coverage from. So that, and just thank you for all the work you've done in our community over the years and the care and that you took in helping keep Bunning Park. It's our crown jewel park where we hold a lot of events in the summer, and it would be awful if something happened to those trees. So
It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
You're on.
Councilor Bingham?
So where does the public go if they're interested in the WMZIP program? Is it just through DEQ online, or or do you guys knock on the doors, or how does that all work?
So in terms of the project areas where we're working, we mail out notices to all of the adjacent residents. But if anyone in Rock Springs is interested, you can simply go to Wyoming AML on the DEQ website. We have a link to our subsidence program there.
Okay.
With all the information, a number they can call, and they can simply submit either a form or call that number, and we can start the whole process if they want. Or if they just have general questions, we can answer those as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? I do have a couple of questions. Do you know the direction of the slope then pretty well?
Yeah, the dip of these mines in Rock Springs here, they dip mostly to the northeast, and it's about a 20% dip. So somewhat steep, yeah.
All right. And with your more shallow spots, have you had any issues with ground heavage with the increased pressure underneath?
Yeah, when we have mitigated really, really shallow areas that have been undermined in the area, the risk of ground heaving goes up a lot, and we have to take even more measures to prevent that from happening. I think if you guys are familiar with the water tanks that are off of the belt loop there, we went out and did a grouting project there, and it's very shallow. It's less than 50 feet into those mine workings that we were grouting, and we had to make sure, like not only do we have the laser systems as well, right? We actually have people walk around, because you can actually start seeing cracks in the ground form before the ground even starts moving. But sometimes it does happen, and we try to limit, our damage as much as possible. But we have, basically put grout where we didn't want it to go, and we have moved the ground in some cases. But generally, these are things that can be repaired fairly easily too. So.
All right, and I know it's the opposite of subsidence, but would that subsidence insurance cover that if it were, say, somebody's basement heaved due to?
Yeah, so with our work, we actually have a couple layers of protection. So first of all, our contractor is required to carry insurance, right? So if it's through some fault of the contractor that the damage was incurred, we have that policy to seek basically payment for the landowner. Additionally to that, we have the bonding process as well. The state, the whole contract is under bond. The bond is definitely something we can go after for any kind of funds if everything else fails. But again, yes, that subsidence insurance is also a thing that we employ to cover the cost of repairs. And then ultimately, we still actually have our funding itself to do the repair work. So we have a lot of mechanisms to actually enact repairs, and we typically seek out local contractors to do that. There's a lot of great contractors here in town that are very responsive and have done honestly fantastic work helping us out when we have impacted things. Because we have backed up some people's sewers, plugged their lines and stuff like that, and that's unfortunate. But we've had some really quick responses in getting that done. It happens. We try to limit it, but we definitely take care of it when it does.
All right, and have you guys ever found any like super soft pillars that you had to rock lock or anything like that, or do you just fill them with grout as well?
The coal tends to be actually pretty competent. It's tends to be a little stronger than sometimes people think, because you can just easily break it, with like a hammer and stuff like that. But when it's kind of in compression with each other, it's actually pretty strong stuff. But yes, when we grout, we're injecting basically at 400 psi at the formation. So we push basically this grout pretty hard, and it's what we call high mobility grout, which means its viscosity is actually pretty low. It actually really wants to flow, and we have a special designs, characteristics that we employ to make sure that it flows. But yeah, sometimes you push stuff around when you're grouting. So.
All right, thank you. That's all I had.
You guys want a picture?
I think we're good.
With the substitute, Mayor.
With the substitute.
All right, with that, I'd like to thank you for coming in, and hopefully we get another update come late year.
Yep. Thank you for
Thank
your
you,
time.
gentlemen.
Yep, thank you.
Oh, part-timers here. All right, from here, we are going to move to public hearings. Our first public hearing is regarding the proposed sale of the First Security Bank located at 502 and 504 South Main Street, which has been appraised at $695,000. Is there anybody here who would like to speak during this public hearing? Please give us your name.
Good evening. I'm Philip Stanton. I'm actually a resident of Green River, but I came over to discuss the bank with you guys that you have an offer. It's on your agenda tonight. That thing's been on the market for quite a while. I've followed the story the whole time from its inception to, the URA buying it and then kind of where it's at today. It's come a long ways. So a little backstory was it's been listed for a long time. I contacted Cody Watts last year and got some information from him on that bank because I was trying to put together a group of residents that would maybe make something out of that bank. I thought it was kind of interesting that a guy from Utah ended up getting the listing. You know, right next door, you've got a support your own, spend a home sticker on the glass, and then you got 801 phone number right next to it, which whatever happened there, I guess it is what it is. But, you know, I got a list of questions to him and he got some of the answers to me. And I just came tonight to ask a couple of simple questions. The relationship between the realtor that had that bank listed and the city, I know a lot of these questions you probably can't answer because of confidentiality, why you always have to go into the back room to talk about this stuff. But did you guys have a committee that was in communication with him? Is that how that worked? Because I asked a ton of questions and all I really got was a bunch of photos and the idea that I could walk through there, which I'm getting off topic here. I guess my questions are the optics of what you guys have to decide on tonight they don't look great to me, right? This is kind of a loser project at this point. It went from $3 million in tax money getting thrown at it, the option for another $3 million that now is kind of fizzled out. It might be, you know, an astronomical number. Nobody really, stop me if I'm getting off topic here at any time, you guys. It sounds like it's just a burdensome problem now is what I'm hearing. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't sell it to this fella for 75 grand. I'm just saying the optics of it all are bad. He had a deal with you guys for $400 and something thousand. A lot of the questions I was asking him would be the due diligence phase of you know, I would never enter into a contract for an X amount of money and then come back and try to renegotiate that contract later. The questions I was asking him were very simple. Like, this is what I need to know to make an offer on that bank. And it would appear as though he put the cart before the horse, made the offer, and then kind of scuttled that offer. And now he's just throwing a lowball cash offer at you guys, which I'm not saying you shouldn't take. I'm just saying from an outsider looking in, from a guy who was slightly, you know, thinking about buying that bank, if I would have known that you guys would consider taking something like that, I think that the market would be I think you'd have some other interested parties anyways, at least. And, all right, I think my 3 minutes is about up. But is the bank still on the market? Because I searched all day after I saw the article that you guys were thinking about selling it. So is it actively under contract with a realtor? Because there's a sign on that bank, which is probably scaring a lot of people off from approaching the city. You know, it still says Cody Watts on there. I just drove past it on the way here. So if it's not on the market, are you considering other offers, or would you?
So I will say, to my knowledge, we did receive a potential offer today from the email we all got. I think all of us got it. So we will have the option when we hit that resolution to potentially table it. With that, there is risks. Cody could get cold feet. The potential offer could be withdrawn, and then we're sitting where we are right now going, let's try to get rid of this. That building's been in the city stuff so old, only one council member was here when we decided to purchase it in the first place. And he's been here since, you know.
All right, well, if you guys do decide, will you advertise it? Will you at least hire a new realtor if you're going to do that? Or maybe just consider it anyways? You've had the same old fella in there who's already made one offer on it and kind of fell apart. But just maybe a suggestion would be try some new. I know you don't want to drag this out anymore, but as residents, we've all paid $3 million to get it where it is today. Just kicking it down the road, 75 grand. That just, I know, but I mean, it's already been there for X amount of years. This started in what, 2012 or 2013?
About 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay.
So are you interested in purchasing it? Is that what we're to take from this, or?
Well, if it's going to be on the market, so that's my main concern. Nobody knew it was even for sale still, I guess. We're getting this information just like on the clickbait websites. I guess I need to pay better attention to what's going on at the city council meetings, and that's on me. I apologize, but I don't think a lot of that makes it out into the public forum. So have those I mean, you can't talk about negotiations, but obviously there's been negotiations going on. If you went from 400K to 75K, like since November. So
With that, I would have to defer to our legal department, and I'm sure there's things we can't discuss.
I'm just saying what I read on like Sweetwater Now and some other Cowboy State Daily stuff. But, and I know that's all clickbait and that's just what you guys can give us. But if you are going to consider relisting it, I think you'd get better offers than 75,000. This is just my personal opinion. Whether or not a little bit more than 75 grand makes it move any better. Maybe this guy has a better plan than any of us do. But I mean, I think it's definitely worth a second look, in my opinion. So thank you for your time.
Councilor Pedri.
Yeah, Phil, I appreciate you coming in. To speak on the committee section, I'm on the building committee, and this is the first time that I've heard of this as well when the agenda came out on Friday. So a little setback, didn't quite know how to respond when I was approached by some other constituents. And I did have conversations with one individual today that is interested at that value. So I don't know if this is the appropriate time to go into that discussion, or maybe once we address it in the resolution. But I understand what you're here to say today, and appreciate you coming. And if you hang around, maybe we can have some more in-depth conversation when the resolution side comes up. But I agree with everything that you just spoke of, and you're not the first one to bring that to my attention today.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for your time, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else who would like to speak during this public hearing?
Your Honor, I'd like to speak a little bit about that first security if I could.
Yeah, Councilman Alonis.
I've talked to a couple investors on that building here lately. Cody was one of them. You know, the 75,000 or whatever the purchase price is almost nil compared to what it's going to cost to get that place up and running. It's going to cost millions and millions of dollars. I don't know how many people around here has got millions and millions of dollars they want to put up as an investment. You know, any investor wants to get a return. I talked to those guys, and it's really hard to find a tenant that can make the mortgage payment for these people. You know, the retail is really hard. You got Walmart, you got Amazon. The restaurant business is really, really difficult to make a dollar on. Cody, he's went through all the numbers. He knows square footage numbers. He's a very savvy investor, and he just couldn't make the numbers work on the first go around. He just couldn't do it, and we're going to take a look at this other offer and maybe postpone this vote and see what we can do. But it's a tough gig. It's probably one of the only offers we've had, and if we don't do something, it's just going to continue to sit there and deteriorate. You know, we got a parking issue. So we're trying to find a solution, and I think these guys, they got ideas, but it's just a money thing. So anyhow, we'll just keep working on it and see what we can come up with. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Anybody else? Councilman Zadi?
some comments on that too. I mean, it's over the years that building has had several private owners who have thought it'd be a wonderful idea to renovate the thing and open it up and do something with it, but they realize it's just not cost effective. And that's where we got into around 2012. The first go around, we had an investor from Utah who came in and wanted to try and do a public-private partnership. And that's where we approached the Wyoming Business Council for funding to try and get this going. The council at the time denied the grant, and then building sat there for another 8 years, empty and deteriorating. That was initiated with Mayor Como in his second term. Then when he came in for his third term, he was really interested in trying to get that going again and contacted that investor. And we had another go around with the business council, and this time we were successful. The way we were going to do this was with two different grants, business ready or business business ready grant, phase one, and then a business committed grant. The business ready was about $3 million or so. We were awarded that, and the thought was, and the idea from the business council is there was support to move with the business committed grant. And it looked like a great opportunity. We were going to be able to get this done and renovated and save a building that everybody loves for the downtown. COVID hits, costs go up, money dries up, and now here we are. The business committed portion of the grant is where the real big trick was on this, because we had to have a business that was committed to go into that location and sign a lease in order to get the grant. We had to have business committed. It was very hard to get any business to commit to, hey, potentially we'll get the grant, we won't get the grant, then how long will it take? We'll get the money, then it's another 1 year or 2 years before they can actually move in. So if I'm getting any of this wrong, if any of you have been here, no, please correct me, but that's how I understood this whole process. It's the ability to get that grant, plus the cost more than doubled. So it has been very hard to get anybody willing to commit to do something with this building. People have looked at it over the last few years, and they do, and it's several $1 million to get this up and running. In my mind, we've got somebody who knows what he's doing. He's looked at the numbers. He's confident that he's going to be able to make this work with this deal. We can sell it for $75,000, or we can let it just sit there and rot again. The other alternative is to waste hundreds of thousands of dollars of taxpayer money in demolishing the thing and turning it into a parking lot. I would much prefer giving somebody a chance to renovate it and turn that into what we have visioned it to be for the city of Rock Springs and downtown, as an anchor location and something that helps drive economic development within our downtown area. Within the agreement, there is provisions in there that construction would have to start within 1 year, and I believe it would have to be complete within 5. So we're put provisions in there just so we don't sell it, then have it just sit there. There's going to have to be action taken here. At this point, I know if people are interested, but again, I don't think people realize the money that's involved in getting this up and running, getting it to where it needs to be. So just a little history on that.
Thank you.
Your Honor, are we having the open discussion at this time, or should we wait?
I would wait until we go to the resolutions to have our discussion on the actual, where we're leaning. Anybody else like to speak on this? Come on now, sir.
Okay, good evening, council. My name is Mark Pedri, resident of Rock Springs. Sorry, what's that?
Couldn't get enough of us.
I like it down here. I don't want to offer an opinion one way or the other. I just want to try to contextualize this moment for the community. And what I see this is as a call to action. That building has been around for generations. It's been there since my family started here, and now I find myself back here, and I really value this community. And for me, downtown it's where it's all at. As a entrepreneur, as a local business owner, that's where I want to be. I want to get out of my basement office, and I want to find a place downtown. And I want to offer a call to action to anybody with a vision for that building. And there's people like me. We're not alone here. We're people that grew up here. Maybe we spent some time outside of here, but we came back. And there's things that we love about this community, and there's things that we want to try to help grow. And I think downtown is one of those things for me personally. And that bank represents that. So to see growth there, to see investment there, I just want to state my opinion as somebody that supports that. that wants to be a part of that and is not afraid of that. And I think that as a community, to speak positively about that, to talk about solutions rather than boundaries and hurdles. Parking, we can figure that out. I ride my bike to work every day. I'm not going to take up a parking spot. So as a call to action to whoever it is, whether it's the current person who has an offer on the table or if it's somebody else that is throwing around an idea, I think that what it's going to take to make that work is a dream. I don't think that it's going to be economics. Obviously, we cannot escape the realities of our economic limitations, but if somebody can bring a dream to that, to be a part of the community, whether that's somebody within the community or somebody coming from the outside, we don't have to trace our roots too far back to realize that we all came from somewhere. And bringing that dream to our downtown, I think that's what we need to support as a community. So when we're factoring in all these decisions, all these ideas, let's be real about it. Let's ask hard questions, but let's also not forget, let's get behind somebody that can make that come to fruition. And as somebody that's from here, I'd love to see that idea come from a local who has their heels bedded in and they're not going anywhere. And I know a lot of people are excited about that project. But also, as Councilor Malonis brought up, and many of you else, sometimes we do have to look to outside ideas. And I just don't want to abandon a good idea for any other allegiances that we may have. And I want to just say that there's a lot of people like me out there that are just looking to be excited about things happening downtown. So let's approach it with a positivity and understanding that anything is possible. Like I said, there's a lot of new ideas floating around. So when it comes to what's possible with that building, I don't think some of the limitations of the past should be a concern. And, if this is a crossroads where we want to give a fair shake to other people that may have not been aware of the situation, I think we had a commentary about that, then I think that's worth also considering. $75,000 feels approachable to a lot of people with dreams that maybe $410,000 felt not accessible. So if it's a matter of taking 1 month to let some other people have a shake at that, then I think that's worth considering. And if a month goes by and nothing comes, then I think supporting people with that vision is a great path forward. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, I'm going to close that public hearing. Move on to the public hearing regarding a joint grant application for an Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Application 2025 between the City of Rock Springs and Sweetwater County for grant funds totaling $11,002.00, which will be on Resolution 2026-33. Is there anybody here who would like to speak to that? All right, with that, we will open up petitions. Tom, please come up and tell everybody your name and what you would like to speak about.
Hi, everybody. I hope nobody has a hot date because I've got a lot to talk about. But I'll try to keep it to within about 5 minutes. I'm going to try to merge different topics here. Okay, and these topics are fires, wildfires within the city, flooding, mosquitoes, and goats. Okay, so I have those 4 topics to try to merge here in just a couple of minutes. And I've spoken here before, so some of what I'm going to say is a little bit repetitious, but I have a few new ideas too. Obviously, what I'm talking about is the floodways, Kilpecker Creek, Bitter Creek, and so forth. And as I've said before, we're in a basin. I mean, every place is in a basin, basically. But what makes us unique is above my house on Clark Street, there's something like 22 or 2,300 square miles of territory. and it all has to drain and go right past my house. Okay, and I'm not unique in this sense. 40% of Rock Springs is in a flood zone, as I understand it. And there's certain bottlenecks, such as where the creek goes under 9th Street, the creek goes under Elk Street, and there's a couple of others. Okay, and these are places where historically the water has gotten stuck on obstructions. Okay. There's debris in the creek since the goats were in there last year. It was last year, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Some local idiots have been throwing tree limbs in there since that time. I know, I was in the creek just a few days ago. Okay. But anyway, I just want to say that, first off, I'm trying to say like 25 different things at once here. I'll try to rein it in a little bit. But I'm very proud to live in a community that has been open-minded enough to look at this organic thing, goats, doing work that other people would just throw a bunch of herbicides on. Okay. And we know that that doesn't work very well. I think as far as the goats go, the one thing that could have improved the outcome last year with the goats would be a follow-up of 5 or 10 guys with chainsaws and maybe a couple of dozen volunteers, okay, is to go where the goats had been and cut out all the woody vegetation. Like there's actually, even right now, there's 12-foot tall, 15-foot tall trees and bushes in the creekway right where the goats worked last year. Okay, I have cut down some of them with a handsaw. Okay, but what I can do is negligible compared to what 5 or 10 guys, with chainsaws and then volunteers to haul the stuff out of the creekway and then haul it off to an appropriate spot. But the goats are a really good solution. I know some money has been spent on it, and some people here are opposed to that. Okay, but considering the danger of a flood, okay, in Bitter Creek, it's money well spent, and I'm proud of the city for having stepped forward and spent that money. Well, I guess the first time was a few years ago when we had a big winter, and I was concerned about the snow melt. Luckily, the snow melt happened in kind of an orderly way, and so the water rose high, but it didn't flood, luckily. Had we had, say, a torrential downpours with all that snow, yeah, we would have had major flooding. There's no doubt about it. And that sort of thing happens nowadays. But anyhow, I just want to point out that some of the advantages to cleaning up the creekway are that floodwaters can flow more easily through the city, because our job is to get the water from upstream of the city to downstream of the city in a efficient, expeditious way, right? And the only way to do that is to keep debris out of the floodway. Okay, right now there's pallets and construction materials down there, I can assure you. And that all needs to be removed. And then, as I said, the woody vegetation needs to be cut out and hauled off and stuff so that the creek can do what it's supposed to do. And if we don't do it, by the way, if we have a drought, these floodways actually become very ideal corridors for fires, inner city wildfires. And I'm sure our fire department probably has noted that. And some of these areas of thick brush come right close to some old wood frame buildings. Okay, some of those buildings, they're not going to last 30 minutes if a fire gets going along the creek. And I'm talking probably several dozen homes. And that's a lot for a town this size, I think. I'd like to hear what the local fire department has to say about that at some point. But anyway, also, if sun is directly on the water, okay, because it's opened up and wind is flowing through there and all that properly, it will reduce the number of mosquitoes that we have to deal with. In light of living in the world we're living in right now, virtually a nightmare, with the CDC virtually eviscerated, we're going to have to take care of ourselves. And mosquitoes are a very important thing. I've read that about half the people in the world who have ever died as a result of a mosquito bite. Okay, so this is a thing, and I think instead of spraying for mosquitoes, we could just simply open up the creek, let the sun shine on the water, and it's a good thing. And I really have to applaud Randy Hansen in particular. I think you were the one who originated the goat mitigation thing, right, several years ago. And I think it's been a big success, but we can improve upon what the goats do by clearing out the creek a little bit better. We want vegetation because that helps prevent erosion and so forth. But we want green vegetation, not a bunch of dead stuff that is fire prone and will be obstructions should we get a flood. And historically, interestingly,
Excuse me, sir, I hate to interrupt, but
I'm going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Just to wrap it up, I'll just say that historically, most of the big floods in the arid West occur late summer and fall after a drought. And that's something to think about. Okay. So, and my last thought is the city ought to buy its own herd of goats. Start off with a dozen. We can name them after everybody in this room. And then, maybe work it up. And then goats can pay for themselves because you can eliminate the cost of herbicide spraying, which is absurd, and this city does it every year. Okay, and also when they're not in use by the city, they can be rented out to other municipalities or individuals. Goats can make money. That's all I have to say. Any questions?
Any counselors, anything? No. All right, thank you for sharing your thoughts. All right, I believe Mr. Stanton already spoke to what he wanted to speak to. So with that, I will close public comment and move on to bills and claims. First, we have the Rock Springs Housing Authority bills and claims for April 21st, 2022. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus?
I make a motion to approve Rock Springs Housing Authority bills and claims for April 21st, 2026.
Thank you for that. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Bingham. Any, wow, I just had a brain fart. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Abstaining?
Abstaining.
Abstaining.
All right. Motion passes with Councilors Thompson and Pedri abstaining. That brings us to bills and claims for April 21st, 2026. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus?
I make a motion to approve the bills and claims for April 21st, 2026.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Thompson. Any discussion? With that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstaining? Bill passes unanimously, or motion passes unanimously. That brings us to salaries for April 7th, 2026. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demus?
I make a motion to approve salaries for April 7th, 2026.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Hanson. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstaining?
Abstaining.
All right. That motion passes with Councilor Thompson abstaining. That moves us on to new business. First off is the approval of the annual drinking water report, quality report for May 2026. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor.
Counselor Hanson?
I move to approve the report.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Pedri. Is there any discussion? I would like to say our water's good. We're way better than Flint, Michigan. That's fine.
High bar.
Pretty high bar there. All right, with no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Abstaining. Motion passes unanimously. Next is a request from the police department for permission to fill a vacant record supervisor position. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Counselor Demas?
I make a motion to approve this request.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
I think Pedri had you by a hair. Thank you, Counselor Pedri. Is there any discussion? None? All right. With that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstaining. Motion passes unanimously. Next, we have a request from the Rock Springs Chamber of Commerce for approval of their 4th of July parade route on July 4th, 2026 from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Gateway Boulevard.
11:30.
To 11:30. Council, what's your favor? You got me all messed up now.
Your Honor.
What's your pleasure? Counselor?
Move to approve this request.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Zadi. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstaining. All right, that brings us to our resolutions. First resolution is 2026-32. Matt?
A resolution of the governing body of the city of Rock Springs, Wyoming, accepting an offer to purchase certain municipal real estate property located at 502 and 504 South Main Street, Rock Springs, Wyoming, and authorizing the sale thereof.
Thank you. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Counselor Zadi?
I would like to make a motion to table this resolution in light of new information that came about of potential other bidders.
All right.
And just kind of get a better idea where we are with everything. I need more time.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
I believe Bingham beat you by a hair.
Okay.
Seconded by Counselor Bingham. Is there any discussion to this?
Your Honor,
Counselor Malonis?
I was thinking about this, and we've had this discussion before, whether to table something or postpone it. Would it be better to postpone it or table it?
We can,
Mike on.
well, we can table it. I think technically speaking, postponing for a definite time is how you would probably do it, but historically, it has been our process to use the tabling motion to postpone the decision until the next meeting.
And then we'll either accept or deny it at that time. The option to sell.
Yeah.
Yep. Any other discussion?
Your Honor.
Counselor Pedri?
I do, I don't want anybody to think that I don't want to see this bank move forward with development. I mean, that's the ultimate goal for everyone, but I think we have to go about it in the right way. And I feel that an offer of this value just opens up other doors. Cody Watts obviously knows this better than any of us, and I do not know if there's a stipulation in the contract if he's allowed to sell it on the backside. I mean, it's $75,000 for a building of that size, that square footage. A guy could easily double up his money and not even have to worry about a 1 year, 4 year, or any of the other complications. Can you touch on that at all?
No, I cannot, mainly because I do not have that information.
Okay. Yeah, and I had some other questions. Cody's not here tonight, is he?
It would not seem so.
Well, I recommend that we table it, and then that'll give us some time, and other people that have some interest, they can come forward at the same time, and I don't feel that we'd have to worry about a $75,000 offer going away, for multiple reasons. I think that if his offer fades, and somebody else will step up with that kind of money.
Okay, Your Honor.
Counselor Zadi.
I do want to point out addendum 1 of the contract number 8. It does state the building is to be sold, or, oh, never mind, sorry. That's not what I misread that. That's, scratch what I'm saying here. I read that wrong. I thought there was a condition that it could not be sold, but never mind.
Ignoring what you just said.
Sorry.
Any further discussion?
Your Honor, agree with Councilor Pedri. Share some of the same concerns. I've had constituents reach out to me on the amount and the concerns of that. But when phase 2 was being proposed, and Matt, correct me, I mean, just not exact numbers, but we're around 6.7 million on phase 2 at the time, somewhere around there. And so definitely a big investment that's going to have to go in that building because, just getting it to where it is. So, we just some things to think about, but agree that with it so low, we need to look at other potential buyers too. Thank you.
All right. Any further discussion?
Your Honor.
Councilor Malonis.
I own property in downtown myself, so I have a little idea what it takes to make a deal work. I like Cody's offer. I've talked to Cody. He seems really intelligent and up on things. I just had a email that we had another offer today, I guess. I don't know when it came in. So that would be the number one reason I would table this resolution, was so we could take another closer look at the second offer and maybe give another person an opportunity if they think they want to get a couple $1 million and throw at that building, give them an opportunity. So I like the idea of tabling it myself.
All right. Anything else? I say let's bring this to a vote. With that, all those in favor of tabling Resolution 2026-32, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Abstaining. All right, that resolution is tabled until next meeting. Next up is Resolution 2026-33. Matt?
A resolution accepting and approving an interlocal agreement, Justice Assistance Grant Program Award 2025 between the County of Sweetwater, Wyoming and the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said agreement on behalf of the city.
Thank you. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilor Demas?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-33.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Pedri. Is there any discussion? With that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstaining? Motion passes unanimously. That brings us to Resolution 2026-34.
A resolution accepting and approving an agreement for transfer of entitlements between the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Aviation Administration, and the City of Rock Springs, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Richard W. Beckwith as city attorney of the City of Rock Springs to execute said agreement on behalf of said city.
Thank you. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilor Thompson?
move to approve Resolution 2026-34.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Hanson. Is there any discussion? All right. So we've gone over this several times in the past few months, and with the absence of Mr. Brubaker, I would ask the board member and
Board chair.
I believe he is the chair. To answer why we are transferring over $1 million to Laramie.
Your Honor, members of the council, these are entitlement funds that the airports throughout the state receive, and they receive them every year when there are projects that one airport has that another one maybe doesn't have in a given year. They transfer those funds, and then when the next year comes around, then those funds come back. those funds get transferred back. In the case of these two resolutions, 2026-34 and 2026-35, these are funds that were originally allocated to the Sheridan and Laramie airports that were loaned to us basically for the completion of our commercial terminal project. And now they have projects, so we're basically taking our funds and paying them back. So it's a way for the airports, the commercial airports in Wyoming, to collectively leverage the funding that they receive from the FAA to basically raise all ships, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like a co-op.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Thank you. Anybody else got questions?
Your Honor,
Councilor Malonis?
do we have an accounting system that tells us who owes what? Do we owe them? They owe us? Are we all even? How do we know?
Councilor Hickerson, Councilor Monos, we do keep track of that, and we keep track of it both through the FAA, the office in Denver, as well as the Wyoming Department of Transportation Aeronautics Division.
Do you know where we're sitting right now? Will this make us even?
I believe this will make us even, but I can check and make sure.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other discussion? With that, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Abstaining? Motion passes unanimously. Which brings us to Resolution 2026-35. Matt?
A resolution accepting and approving an agreement for transfer of entitlements between the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Aviation Administration, and the City of Rock Springs, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Richard W. Beckwith as city attorney of the City of Rock Springs to execute said agreement on behalf of said city.
Thank you. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilor Pedri?
move to approve Resolution 2026-35.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Demus. Any discussion? Again, this is the same answer as last time for questions the public may have. And I'd assume this also makes us even with Sheridan County. All right.
Yes, Your Honor, it does.
I can't hear this.
I know. Can't hear a thumbs up? Okay.
All right. Is there any further discussion? All right. With that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstaining? Motion passes unanimously. Next is Resolution 2026-36. Matt, if you would.
A resolution accepting and approving a contract between the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Weed Management Solutions, LLC, in the amount of $148,000.52, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk to execute said contract on behalf of the City of Rock Springs.
Thank you. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilor Hanson?
I move to approve Resolution 2026-36.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Bingham. Is there any discussion? All right. Paul, I'm sorry to bother you. Was this right in line or higher or lower than what we planned on budgeted, what we budgeted for last year?
Your Honor, it was actually a tad bit lower than what we had budgeted for.
I love it. Thank you very much. We like anything that says lower, we like.
Your
With
Honor,
that,
I think that's
Counselor?
where they messed with that 52 cents at the very end.
Yeah. Yeah, we expected a whole dollar.
Yeah.
With that, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Abstaining?
I'm going to abstain. They're not a client of mine, but they are a client of the company I work for.
All right, motion passes with Councilor Zadi abstaining. That moves us on to Resolution 2026-37. Matt, if you would.
A resolution accepting and approving a form of contract with Fremont Motor Company, Lander, Wyoming, in the amount of $63,329.00, and authorizing Max Mickelson as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said contract on behalf of the city of Rock Springs.
Thank you. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Counselor Demas?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-37.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Counselor Hanson. Is there any discussion? All right. Sorry to ask again. How does this bid work out from what we planned on our budget?
Your Honor, this is also lower than what we budgeted. But
just a tad.
Vehicles are tough to budget for because they're continuously changing, so, you know, but it is under what we budgeted.
All right, thank you. And also, just for the public's knowledge, we altered our agenda for today because we had that set as Fremont Motor in Rock Springs when actually it came from their lander store. So, all right, with that, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstaining? That motion passes unanimously. Which brings us to Resolution 2026-38.
An amended resolution of the governing body of the city of Rock Springs, Wyoming, accepting and approving the 2026 to 2028 collective labor agreement between the city of Rock Springs and the firefighters local 1499 IAFF.
Thank you, Matt. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Counselor Pedri?
move to approve Resolution 2026-38.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Demas. Is there any discussion? All right. Just out of curiosity and for the public's knowledge, this is purely for, well, what caused the amended resolution, I guess? So we had a resolution, but what did we amend in this latest version?
Your Honor, it was mostly clerical errors that were found after cleanup of
So blame legal.
further reviews, I guess. So I think it was the holiday pay section and the insurance section. So,
All right, nothing major, just clerical errors. Thank you very much. Any further discussion? With that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstaining? Motion passes unanimously. Which brings us to the last resolution of the night, 2026-39. Matt, if you would.
an amended resolution of the governing body of the city of Rock Springs, acting in its capacity as the Rock Springs Housing Authority Board, authorizing April Thompson as the supervisor of housing and community resources to execute a capital fund improvement amendment for the federal fiscal year 2026 for the purpose of receiving $393,849 on behalf of the Rock Springs Housing Authority.
Thank you. Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilor Damas?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-39.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Zadi. Is there any discussion? All right, just to clarify, last meeting, we gave the Housing Authority this exact amount, and the federal government does pay for all of that, so they gave us that money back, correct? Good, great grant.
Your Honor, I think April explained it last time, but the reason for the amended resolution is to clean up some typos on the form of the resolution from last time. So really nothing's changed since last meeting.
Even better. Thank you. With that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Abstaining?
Abstaining.
Abstaining.
Thank you. Motion passes with Councilors Thompson and Pedri abstaining. Which brings us to our ordinances, neither of which are on the third reading, so there will be no action. First is ordinance 2026-05. Matt, if you would.
An ordinance of the City of Rock Springs amending Title 1 entitled General Provisions, Chapter 11 entitled City Standards, Section 11.01 entitled Four Wards Established, Section 11.02 entitled First Ward, Section 11.03 entitled Second Ward, Section 11.04 entitled Third Ward, and Section 11.05 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming entitled Fourth Ward.
Thank you. Counselor, is there any discussion?
I have some.
Counselor Demas?
My concern is Ward 1 and driving across town to engage with my voters, being mostly Precinct 510, which is over by the rec center when I live off the Belt Loop. I don't like. And losing at least 25% disconnect from my neighbors when I lost Lincoln, McKinley, and I live across the street from them.
All right.
And I also would like to know why we didn't have more than one map. Why we couldn't have had more than one map to show different ways of dealing with this situation.
So, and legal can probably help better, but to my knowledge, the council, or the county
Yeah, but
formulated this.
We could do more than one map. We didn't have to just stick with this map
And
that really messes with Ward 1.
And I do know Ward 3, surface area wise, we still crush you. So I'm not trying to be mean, but I really don't have sympathy for having to drive across town because I live on the northern end of town and it's still 10 minutes to get to Dan Pedri.
Well,
His
yeah,
neighbors.
but I'm just
And-
saying,
and with the
why-
city being as small as we are-
Why take Lincoln and McKinley that are across the street from me and make me drive all the way over across town?
I would say this is the less gerrymandered option. They could have taken Ward 1 and put it where they were and then taken Ward 4 and made them go all the way to the rec center, but your area is closer to the rec center overall. And I understand your disagreements with it, but as small as a city as we are, I'm thinking everybody on the council's received calls outside of their ward.
Well, I'm not saying calls,
But we
I'm
can
saying
still-
voters. I take calls from anybody, but
So your concern's more on the election cycle.
yeah,
Yeah, I can't help there.
I know you can.
I guess you'll just have to try to canvass it. Is there any further discussion?
Your Honor?
Councilor Malonis?
I've had a couple of the conversations about this redistricting, and I've heard it can be based on three different things: numbers, neighborhoods. You wouldn't put the Bronx in with Manhattan. So some of that stuff, the areas seem like they should be stuck. This neighborhood this is the hood, and this is like the new addition. Anyhow, the question I had was there any complaints from constituents or counselors that we needed to change the numbers? I guess that's why are we doing this? Was there a complaint? Was there some issues?
Your Honor, on part of that, I believe the state statute says the wards population-wise have to be approximately as close as you can get to equal. And I get your point, Jeannie, but we're not going to be council in there forever. So just my new line is going to be 100 feet from my house. But whoever is the next council from Ward 2 may live over on Gateway.
But
So
my
they can't
concern is
tailor it to us.
the problems that I deal with where I live compared to the problems that are over in Precinct 510 are way different. They're like night and day. These are older homes. This is newer homes.
We're going to have to adapt and overcome, I guess. That's pretty much, because we represent, even though we represent our ward, we represent the whole city.
I know, I'm not saying
No,
representing the whole city. I know. That's not my
Because
problem.
you know your area.
Yes, and people walk. Ward 1 people walk my house. Now, I have a little cul-de-sac, and across the street is Lincoln that I mean, I'll help them, but
Then they can holler at Randy and Erica.
Yeah.
Meet new people.
Your Honor, Your Honor,
Counselor Malonis?
I would like to have that question answered. Was there any complaints or we're just doing it to meet statute?
Your Honor.
Counselor Zadi?
Hey, it's to meet statute, but when you look at it, and what did we say, what was it said here? Where is it? Ward 2 sees the largest reduction with over 1,100 addresses reassigned. We have the largest ward, and when you look at one person, one vote, and the weight of the vote, when you have an overly populated ward, their voice is diluted. It's the way that works. And that's why the statute is there, to make the boundaries in the wards as even as possible, to get as close to one voice, one vote. There's a lot of people in the ward the way it sits now in Ward 2. It's what needs to be done to correct this, and that it happens all the time. It happens in the state every 10 years. They do with census, they redistrict. We need to do that within the city of Rock Springs as well, to make sure people are represented fairly and equally. That's the whole idea behind that. That's the whole idea behind what we're doing here, is trying to maintain that equal distribution.
But yes, there was a couple of complaints, especially from Ward 2 that I heard about. They couldn't get a hold of their councilman because he was busy answering 12 other people. So, did get a couple calls about that, mostly from the presidential streets, which you and I will now be half of. So, I got a couple of phone calls from that. I'm not saying it was widespread or anything, but there was a few complaints, yes. Any further discussion?
Yeah, Your Honor. So, I mean, Randy and I have the smallest ward. I mean, Ward 4 has and so definitely this is all about equal representation. When you see the legislature go through this, they have some very interesting boundaries where it'll curve around here, and like the airport is in Larry Hicks in Carbon County. You know, that's where their representation is. So thank goodness we don't have anything like that. But yeah, it's just, you know, we'll have another opportunity when another census is done to do it again past 2030. But to me, it comes down to equal representation. I mean, Councilor Hanson and I are more than willing to represent, to make sure that, we share the burden as the rest of the councilors do. So I think it's the right thing to do. It's hard because when I see the legislature, when they're redistricting, it is quite the process. And no one's ever happy in the end. Boundaries move. But just know that, we represent everybody. I take calls from, as a matter of fact, I've worked with people in Ward 1, 2, and 3 reach out to me. So, and I understand the voter thing too, but just something we're going to have to work with. So that's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Just if I could,
Councilor Zadi?
The unfortunate thing is Rock Springs was not really thought out in an organized way, being a mining town. Neighborhoods were where the mines were, and we grew around that. And so there's large areas of town that aren't developed where other areas are for residential. So it's not, it really has a lot to do with the way the Rock Springs is laid out that causes some of the strange shapes in that we see in dealing with restructuring these wards. So there's not really much we can do about that other than rip it all up and start again.
Thank you. Anything else? All right, thank you. Next is ordinance 2026-06 on its first reading. Matt, if you would.
An ordinance of the City of Rock Springs amending the personnel policies of the city by amending section 807 entitled Jury Duty/Court Leave and by creating section 817 entitled Legislative Leave.
Thank you, Council. Is there any discussion on this? All right, with that, this meeting is adjourned.